Okay, I'm trying a new camera, the Mobius action camera. Gets good reviews generally in most respects. Not sure though how suitable it is for the kind of thing I'm trying to do. It's a little heavier, about 1.5 ounces, as opposed to about 1 ounce for the Droneview and about less than half an ounce for the EFC 721. And it doesn't have an adjustable lens, meaning you know the lens just always points in the direction the camera points. In both the EFC 721 and the Droneview, you can tilt the lens up and down after you've mounted the camera, which gives you some additional adjustment. And the Droneview also has Wi-Fi, so you can see on the tablet what it's pointing at, which is really nice. So you really know where you are. You don't have to guess where you're pointing. This you're back to guessing, basically, because the only well, it has an AV. You can put an AV cable on it, but I don't see. I mean, what's that going to do? I'm not going to have it cabled to something, you know, out here. So basically, see now I'm putting a large battery all the way forward, and this is the Commander again. I readjusted the tail again yesterday. I'm just trying to tack up these wires so they don't get in the way of things. I'm dividing my attention here between camera features and plane features. The Wi-Fi on the Droneview is really nice because then you know what you're doing. This you're back to sort of guessing, and it doesn't have as wide a wide angle a lens as the Droneview. Droneview is at 170. It's very wide angle, which distorts things, yes, and makes
throttle cut off. Throttle cut on.
Double check we got throttle cut on because that's a big propeller. I don't want to get hit by it. It distorts things and it makes things in the distance look small, but at least it means you got things in field. Yeah, this we'll see. I'm afraid things are going to get out of the field of view all too easily, but we'll do what we can. Now I'm trying to fly the Commander again. Honestly, I'm still struggling to get this balanced and trimmed. It just seems extremely hard to manage to move the center of gravity far enough forward, whatever you do. And you can't very much trim it in the air because, you know, the AS3X doesn't like you trimming it in the air. Give it some flap, I guess. Not much, just a little bit. No, not that much. But half takeoff flap maybe is plenty, I think. Your AS3X doesn't like you trimming in the air. It tries to compensate for it, so I trimmed the elevators down. They have ball joints on them. I took it off and put it about 3 turns in, which, you know, put it down a bit. That seemed almost, the last flight I did yesterday seemed almost a bit too down, so I took 1 turn out of it overnight, so now it's 2 turns down from where it was. 2 full turns, not half turns.
Throttle cut on.
I'm trying to get my hair out of my eyes. Let's see what we're doing then. Bloody flies. Oh, I didn't put insect repellent on today. I probably should have done.
Flaps up.
That's the noise is a jet out of Hamilton going by. I don't particularly want to go and look for it because I'm going to keep my eyes on my own plane, but okay. Now, how is this thing trimmed? Well, that seems to be trimmed relatively neutrally now. I don't know, even now. Yeah, I guess that's trimmed relatively neutrally. If anything, it's maybe still a tail tending to go up a bit, maybe, but not violently. Sorry. Ugly attempt at a loop there, not well done, but... Let's see if we can try an Immelman turn. Nope, no, whoops, daisy. No, that wasn't what I was trying to do. I told you I was trying to do an Immelman turn, which I conspicuously failed to do. That was closer to an Immelman turn, and at least I went halfway around the loop and managed to roll the plane so it was going where it was supposed to, where it was the right way up, but it wasn't going in the direction it was supposed to. It wasn't an Immelman turn, because I didn't end up going the opposite direction. It was an Immelman wander off sideways. That's not the plane's fault, of course, that's mine. Although, mind you, I do have planes that I can do a pretty neat Immelman turn with. You know, even the Valiant, I have no trouble doing a neat Immelman turn, because the Valiant's just easier to control than this. Yeah, see, this I find more difficult to control, definitely. No doubt about it. Not horrible, but I just can't be as precise. I'm not being as precise with it, and you get very little time to learn, because
Time remaining 2 minutes.
Yeah, see, I'm going to have to be thinking about landing it soon, because it chews the battery up really quickly. Let's try one more time. Let's try and not put so much rudder into it. That's better. Slightly better. Well, he's definitely better. Well, a sort of combination of balance and trim. I mean, really, I still think he's a bit tail heavy, and I've just got it trimmed out, basically. I've got the elevators trimmed down a bit to compensate for the fact that he's tending to be tail heavy, which is not ideal, but short of actually putting lead in the nose, there's not much else I can do, because he's got a 3.3 amp, 3,300 milliamp
Time remaining 1 minute.
hour battery, in all the way forward against the bulkhead. So in terms of battery, using the battery in its position to balance him, I've got as much weight up to the nose as is possible, and he's still balancing noticeably aft of the recommended center of gravity.
Seconds.
Yeah, I mean, actually, that timer was set for a 2200 battery with a 3300 each.
20 seconds.
Yeah, with a 3300 battery, it can do longer, but only a couple of minutes longer. I wouldn't go more than about 7 or 8. I just didn't reset the timer.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Time expired.
Honestly, that countdown is a bit pointless. I think I should just turn it off. I can't see it's just distracting. It's not really useful. All this counting and vibrating. I don't know. I just don't see what it's doing. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I put him back in stabilized mode. He really, he needs a lot of control. He doesn't want to respond to all that much in safe mode, but anyway. Okay, whatever. Yeah, I'm running him probably a little slowly.
Take off flaps.
Actually, that's half flat. That click is the half point on the, whatchamacallem, the...
1 minute 0 over.
Yeah. The click is the half point on the wheel control that I've got, that I'm using for the flaps. Ooh, I'm a bit high here. I don't even know whether I can land here. No, I think I'm going to go around. Should have come in low. I could maybe have forced him down there, but he's actually fairly floaty. He's actually fairly floaty. Even yesterday when I landed him, even yesterday when I landed him, when I went to flare him, he went back up in the air, which is obviously a sign you're bringing him in too fast and whatever. Too much lift. Yeah, he's quite a floaty plane. Quite a floaty plane.
Flaps up.
He does taxi on this grass. I'm going to give him up elevator so that this tail doesn't come up, but why I went round that way, but anyway, whatever. Oh, don't run him into the fence. Oh, he's a bit stuck in the grass there. It's okay.
Cut on.
That's okay. It's only a couple of paces away. Ooh, he's quite heavy. He is not a he is not a light plane. I don't know what he weighs, but he is quite heavy. Well, I mean, say short of actually putting some lead in the nose or whatever, I think that's about all I can do for balancing him, really. And his elevators are trimmed a little bit down. I don't know whether you can see, that's the battery. It's a large battery and it's all the way forward. But that's the best I can do with him. Okay, let's see if I can turn this camera off now. I'm just gonna check the battery, if I can find the checker for the battery, to see where it's at. That was about a 7-minute flight. Oh, that's quite acceptable. Well, it's quite acceptable, but it's about as far as I generally want to take a battery. I noticed one cell's well down more than the other. That's not a good sign. 3.85, 3.9. What can I say? He's a pretty plane, but I wish he balanced a little bit better.